And at this point, I want to explore the first of two models that's included in Model My Watershed. And the first simulates water and pollutants from a one-day rainfall event. Once you've finished analyzing your watershed of interest, select the Model tab at the top left of the Model My Watershed interface. When you've selected the Model tab, you'll see a series of options. The Site Storm Model is the first option listed. Select the Site Storm Model. The Site Storm Model simulates a hypothetical 24-hour storm event using a combination of three different models: SLAM, TR55, and EPA's STEP L. This application is designed primarily for use with smaller, more developed watersheds. At this point, the models run, but before we look at the model results, I want to encourage you to go to wikiwatershed.org/help/model-help to look for documentation about the Site Storm Model, and you'll see that at the bottom of the screen. I strongly recommend that before you try to interpret the results, that you spend some time understanding what the model is that will help you interpret the results. So once you've selected the Site Storm Model, it will run in a matter of moments, and the results will be summarized in a pane on the left-hand side of the screen. In this case, we're looking at the current conditions of that watershed as it relates to the amount of runoff after a 24-hour event and the water quality. Notice that this is represented as both a stacked bar chart and as a table. Clicking on the Water Quality tab in the Current Conditions pane will show you the total suspended solids, nitrogen, and phosphorus moving through that watershed after a 24-hour rainfall event. Notice that if you change the slider of precipitation in the top of the screen, your results, model results, will update on the fly. So the precipitation here, in this case 2.5 centimeters, is the amount of rainfall during the 24-hour event that the model is simulating. The power of Model My Watershed and the Site Storm Model is the ability to change features in your watershed to see how those changes affect the water, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sediment flux. So by clicking Add Changes to this area, you'll have options for changing both land cover and conservation practices. There are 12 different land cover classes that you can change and 6 different conservation practices. Notice that by hovering over any of these icons, the display will show you a description of what that land cover is and what that conservation practice is. By selecting any one of these options, you'll be given the ability to draw an area on your map representing this new change that you've selected. You do this by clicking once and then clicking as you outline a shape, double-clicking to finish the operation. At this point, you've identified a size of the watershed, an area of the watershed that will be applied with a different land cover or conservation practice. The model does not care where you draw that, only that the size of it is appropriate for your application. In this case, we can see that one modification has been made in this area as represented by the gold polygon, in this case, in no-till agriculture, which I applied within the model. As that change was made, the model updated in real time with the results. But at this point, you've created a new scenario, and now you want to rename that scenario using the tool on the upper left. The drop down from New Scenario allows you to rename it. And you want to rename this with something that you can remember represents what you did. Now, the great feature of Model My Watershed And the most powerful part of it is that you get to compare the effect of that change in land cover or conservation practice with the current conditions. And you do this by selecting the Compare button at the top left. And this will show you as either a bar chart or as a table the differences between your new scenario and current conditions. And by default, it will also include a comparison with a predominantly forested watershed that would represent the landscape outside of human influence. Notice that you can change between the bar graph or the table. You can also download these data using the icons in the upper right. You can also change the precipitation during the one-day storm event that this model is representing by changing the slider, and your results will update in real time as you move that slider. At this point, you've done quite a bit of work and investigation. It's to your advantage to log in if you have a Model My Watershed account. If you don't, you can create one for free and rename your project to something that's meaningful to you, and it will be saved in your projects list automatically. At this point, you can add an additional modification of land cover or conservation practice to your existing scenario, or you can add a new scenario and also compare this new scenario with the prior ones that we've discussed. Finally, you may wish to share this model and the output with others. You can do that by clicking the Share button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, turning on link sharing, and then copying and pasting the link to your model and its results into a document or email.